I always thought the Voldemort, Harry Potter's, the Grand Nemesis, had it right. People, as if we, in a community species, we believe that things like good and evil, but there are no such things. There is no good or evil in this world. People who seem like they have all the power, all the fame, all the money, we sympathize with them. We think they are good because most of the good things have happened to them, right? So, if good things keep happening to them, if they're lucky enough, we believe that they are good people and they are being rewarded with the things all people crave the most. And let's talk about bad people. There are no such thing as bad people. There is nothing a person can do that is really bad or really good. People, let's say this, people, we all live in a social hierarchy. Let's take it as a pyramid. And once we climb the pyramid and let's say we are close to the top, people tend to start sympathize with us. Let's say we are popular, let's say we are famous and we are rich. All people are starting to sympathize with us. They love us. They think we are so good and our deeds are so well, so we have gained our wealth, our popularity, and our fame because we are so good. This isn't the case. If this life is just a game, if we play it right, if we climb the ladder, if we climb the pyramid right, we will be seen as decent people because we follow the rules or we look like as if we are following the rules, but in reality, we don't. We sometimes cheat, deceive in order to get what we want. And all of us know, as Machiavelli says, the end justify the means. And many people deceive people and many people manipulate people in order to get what they really want out of life. So if they can get away with it, they can even get away with murder, they can get away with burglary, they can get away with stealing things, the thieves can get away with their crimes, people who injure other people can get away with, people who abuse animals can get away with what they are doing if they are smart enough, if they are clever enough to hide it. But this isn't really the case. We just perceive them as good, even though there are not really things as being good or evil. These are just perceptions and these are just the way we look to our lives. So let's say a person is disliked by many others. They don't like them. His or her family don't like him or her. Not many friends, doesn't have many friends, doesn't have many people that care about them. They will be perceived as bad. You know why? Because he or she must have done something in order to make the others perceive them as bad. But this isn't the case because as humans, we all are in similar in some ways, but very different in other ways. We humans inherently are very similar, but in some occasions, in some situations, we tend to behave very differently. So let's say I am, or another person. Let's say we tend to have this determination. It's like we want to change the world, we want to make a difference. But we can use this power, this willpower, in good deeds, in good deeds. We can help people, we can cure sick people, we can communicate effectively to solve people's problems, or we can use these ambitions in order to manipulate people, exploit people, and use people. Actually, these things we people do use these things, all of the things I just told, we all tend to use them. And I think this makes us, in some ways, very deceitful, we can be very deceptive towards others. So if let's say we are at the bottom of the pyramid, people tend to hate. Like, think about it. The people who smell bad, the people who doesn't really have social or economic status, they're not famous, they don't have any followers, they're disliked, and we people, let's say we're in the bus, we tend to get away from them. Just get away from me. Just don't sit near me. I don't want to be seen with you. I don't like to smell your vibe. I don't like to smell your scent. I don't want to be near around you. So bottom of the pyramid is really not really a nice place to be in. So the top of the pyramid, we're like, wow, he's amazing, she's amazing, oh my god, they're really amazing. But this isn't really the case. The bottom and the top, they're both humans. Yes, they can be very different, but they're both humans, and they're just, both of them, the top and the bottom, both of them are really struggling to continue with their lives and to change their lives, perhaps in a better way. Let's say that they want to be more relaxed, they want to work less, they want to spend their time with what they truly care about. But we people tend to view the top as very good. Their intentions and their deeds should be very nice because they are where we want to be at. And the bottom, we hate them. We literally hate them. We just don't want to be with them because it can be poisonous, right? We can get diseases from them. Diseases. This isn't the case. Well, I think these people are not equal, the top and the bottom. These things do exist, and I think they exist in a very wild way, like African, like Ecuador, like evolutionary way. Very wild, very wild. It's like the wildlife. It's like we are some predators and we are trying to hunt the weaker species. Unfortunately, these are human. We try to hunt other human, and we envy these people at the top so much. Oh my god, we sometimes even let them hunt us. This is sick, and as humans I think we should get away from this kind of mindset. I think this is dangerous, and I think this fucks up, this really messes with our species. I think, like, people do like to talk about their religions and how they're becoming better people by obeying so-called laws of their religions. I think all religions, all laws of the countries and all constitutions try to prevent people on try to prevent people behaving their worst self and their worst self. They're trying to lead them in a more adaptable, more flexible, and more commune type. Well, it's all about surviving strategy. The good and the bad are all about surviving. Let's say this a person is a doctor. I myself am a doctor, actually, medical doctor. Let's say that a person is a doctor and they're trying to cure other people's diseases. Well, we tend to perceive them as if they're very good because wow, they're so selfless, they're trying to help people. Well, they study too much in order to learn about physiology, anatomy, pathology, etc. They do give in very much efforts, a lot of efforts. So they must be good. But this is really the case. As a doctor, I can tell myself I have some selfish motives about learning these kind of treatments. Well, it gives me security, some kind of income, well, some kind of status. So I think I'm doing this, and many doctors, and I think maybe all of the doctors, and all of the humanity, I think, are doing this because this helps them. This really helps them. This really helps them with the social status, with the money, with perhaps fame, with everything. And I think these things shouldn't be classed as good. And let's say some people, they are burglars. They had it tough. Let's say they were raped when they were children. Let's say they didn't have it easy in their lives. So they will be probably leaning towards the other side. They will break the law. They won't hesitate to harm people if that's what they must do in order to survive. I think they both are surviving strategies. Well, we people has only the choice. We can choose to participate in the community, so we will be perceived as good, or the other peoples, let's say, they will break the law, they will steal money, perhaps they will steal millions of dollars and get away with it. So if they get away with it, if they very successfully get away with it, and if they hide it, we will say, wow, they look so cool. And if they get caught in the deed, we will say, shame on them. They're so bad. They're really, really bad, and we don't like them. We don't want to be like them. We don't be around them. Let's put them in the prison, or let's gas them. Let's kill them. This is sick. I think the humans, the way we are operating, the way we are being operated is very sick. I think it's not a production of a good mind. I think we should change. I think being selfish is not a bad thing, but I think we tend to exaggerate this a little bit too much, and we tend to hide it because it fits with our survival strategy to hide it. Well, let's say that we seem more selfless, people will perceive us as good, and when they perceive us as good, we will most likely survive, and we will most likely will live more comfortable lives. So that's it. I think the good or bad all depends on human perception. I think it's more about being selfish or selfless, and how we perceive this selfishness or selflessness will determine if we are good or bad. But these things don't really exist. We tend to perceive the things that help the community the most, the benefits the social environment the most as good, and we tend to perceive the things only benefits to the people of the user as bad. It's all about surviving, it's all about surviving strategies, and even the name of good and bad is a survival strategy, and I think it's mostly about our inherent selfishness. We humans are very selfish creatures, and I think the more the cleverer you get, the smarter you get, you tend to hide this better. You tend to hide your selfishness better, and to a point, you even start to lie to yourself. Like, I'm doing this for other reasons, not to benefit myself, but to benefit to the community. But I think that's a lie. That's a big fat lie. We tend to do this for ourselves, not for the community. We just want others to know we are doing this for them, because they will be more open to share their benefits with us. I think as humans we should read more, and we should think more about these things, because let's think about it. We humans do exist for a while in the earth, right? But even if this is 2021, after after Jesus, let's say, we didn't develop too much. I think we are still very the same, but only the things we wear, our haircuts, our cars perhaps, are different. The way we nutritionate ourselves are different, and the way our medical system work is a little bit different, but we inherently are the same. So if we as humans don't move forwards, we are just staying or moving behind, and I think that's very sad. That's very sad for 2021 years. Just saying. I think we should introspect more as humans, because as we introspect, I think we can become more than being a human. We can really look deep into ourselves, and this is very important. I think this will cure many diseases of the world. Perhaps I'm telling this out of a selfish motive, I don't know, and honestly I don't care. I just wish to speak. But if we move toward being better species, I think we might discover a thing or two that will be very joyous to discover. We should keep our curiosity. The teachers, family, society, government try to keep us from being curious, from talking much, from thinking much. They want our IQ to be at a certain level, like not too much, not too low, because we should pay taxes, but if we are too above on the scale of IQ, we'll get too smart, and we will know the government's, let's say, bullshit. We will spot them easier, and we will be able to change their system, the very system they depend on their survival. So let's do this for ourselves.